Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Today is May 20th, and here are our lessons for the day. Today, for English Language Arts, we will be switching our focus from iReady reading back to the realistic fiction writing that you started in your graphic organizers last week. And today, you're going to use your graphic organizer to write your introduction and your conclusion. So you have two jobs today, introduction and conclusion in your graphic organizer. And the success criteria for today's writing is I can use my graphic organizer to write an introduction that introduces the characters and setting and a conclusion that makes sense, okay? And you are adding on to the same graphic organizer that you started last week. So last week you used your graphic organizer to sketch the problem, quest, and solution of your story, and you also wrote out those details in your graphic organizer. So today you're going to finish up that graphic organizer with your introduction and conclusion. And if you're needing a new graphic organizer or you need to get started on this, you can find new copies of the Realistic Fiction Graphic Organizer on our Canvas page. There is an editable version that you can just type right into on your computer and a version that you can print out and write directly on. Okay, so here's what your graphic organizer should look like. You have a problem, quest, and solution already sketched out along with the details. So I'm going to reread my story and you can ignore that introduction right now. So my problem was that Shirley's friends want to go swimming and Shirley does not like to swim. To solve the problem, Shirley thought of some other things she could do with her friends. Finally, Shirley and her friends agreed that going to the park would be more fun. So there is the problem, quest, and solution, and today's job is to write an introduction and a conclusion in your graphic organizer. So in your introduction, there's two important things that you need to remember. So I'll go back to our success criteria. Our introduction needs to introduce the characters and the setting, where the story takes place. So we need to make sure that in our introduction, we have who's going to be in the story and where the story is taking place. So in my introduction, I wrote, one day, a fifth grader named Shirley was waiting to get picked up from school with her friends. So I have that they're at school, that is the setting. Shirley, who is a fifth grade girl, is a character, and her friends are the other characters. So I have my characters and my setting both in my introduction. And I finished up my introduction by saying they were talking about what they could do for the weekend. Okay, so the next thing that I need to do is my conclusion, which is wrap up the story and have a nice ending that makes sense. So I'm going to reread my whole story so that I know the best way to wrap it up. Okay, so right here, back to the introduction. One day, a fifth grader named Shirley was waiting to get picked up from school with her friends. They were talking about what they could do for the weekend. Shirley's friends want to go swimming, and Shirley does not like to swim. Next, Shirley thought of some other things she could do with her friends. Finally, Shirley and her friends agreed that going to the park would be more fun. Okay, so I need to think of a way to wrap up my story so that it ends with Shirley and her friends at the park and maybe include some of the things that they did. So for my conclusion, I wrote, Shirley and her friends spent their day playing on the swings, racing around the playground, and making new friends at the park. It was the best day ever. And that's the end of my story. So right up here at the top of your graphic organizer, you have a little checklist to make sure that you included all of the things that are super important in your story. So did you say who the characters were? And if you did, you can put a little check. Did you explain the setting where the story takes place? And my story kind of had two settings. It started with Shirley and her friends at school and ended with them having a fun day at the park. Okay, so did it include the quest, a way to solve the problem? And right here it says Shirley thought of some things she could do with her friends, which is her way of trying to solve the problem. Does it include a problem? So I've got my problem right here and a solution. So you can use that checklist at the end of finishing up your introduction and conclusion to make sure you have all the important things that you need today in your graphic organizer. So that is it for writing today. All you need to do is put in your introduction and your conclusion and reread your story so that it makes sense And tomorrow you'll start transferring it into a booklet. And on Friday, you're going to use a checklist to edit your writing, which we haven't done since we've been in the classroom. So we'll make sure that we go over that in the video as well. Today for math, your focus is an iReady math lesson, and the lesson is called Compare Difference Unknown. So we've been working on comparison problems this week in your math worksheets and during our Zoom calls. And today you're going to be practicing those same skills in an iReady lesson. And your success criteria is I can solve problems by using the count back strategy or count on strategy, just like we've been doing in your worksheets and on Zoom. So today when you open up iReady, you'll see that we have 2 teacher assigned lessons this week, and the only one that you need to do for today is the one at the very top that says compare difference unknown word problems. Okay, and these are word problems, so remember to click on the little speaker next to the word problem so that the people on iReady can read it to you, okay? So that is it for today for writing and for math. But as always, please don't forget to read independently for at least 30 minutes. You can use any books that you have at home, or there's lots and lots of books available on Mayan. I know that I've seen lots more people getting on this week, which is super exciting. And you can check out our specialist websites for additional activities. And we also have a Zoom today at 1 o'clock. So I hope to see everybody there. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you at 1.